Well, the whole issue of energy has been important to me since 2012 when I did an energy message. So this is the result of a number of years of work and bringing broad stakeholders together. And the basic principles haven't changed since those early days. It's about how do we get more reliable energy, how do we do more affordable energy, how do we be more environmentally sustainable, and how do we do all this in an adaptable fashion where it's Michiganders defining our future for decades to come. What we're in is a huge transition in how we get our energy. And it's not because of just the federal government. We've got a lot of aging coal plants that are beyond their useful life, and it's not worth investing in them anymore. And the question is how do we make that transition? And transition to what? So we've looked at this, and there's a great opportunity to have better answers on those metrics, on affordability, reliability, being more environmentally sound, because we can transition to both natural gas and renewables and let the market sort of just define the balance between those two. So we're moving away from an old energy source that we had to import all this coal. It's a relatively dirty source, inexpensive for these aging plants. Now we have an opportunity to build a brighter future and build the demand we need to be successful for everything from retail customers to industrial customers. Well, again, there's new ideas all the time about where our energy comes from. One of the things that hopefully we will see more, a couple things. One is in particular solar is becoming much more competitive. And there's a good opportunity here. We've got a fair amount of wind, but solar is probably less in a relative sense. Natural gas, we are a natural gas producer here in Michigan. Let's do something we produce here so we don't have to import things. And one of the huge areas that gets overlooked far too often is eliminating energy waste. The whole area of energy efficiency. The best energy savings we've got is the energy we never had to use. And this bill is at the forefront of promoting how we can be much more efficient and be a leader in eliminating that waste, which is a win for every citizen of Michigan. Yeah, so this was literally a case. I didn't do this in college, but last night I pulled an all-nighter. And I appreciate a number of legislators did, and members of the House, and a lot of people. And it was really, we had several different kind of groups of people that had interests in this bill that were representing important interests. We had the choice community that thinks they want choice and flexibility in policy for their businesses. The other group, though, is we have people that like a regulated environment. Then you have groups that are interested in renewables. So the question is, how do you balance these all out? And I'm proud to say we got these groups largely to come to a strong agreement by finding some good middle ground that I believe is great public policy for all the citizens of Michigan. So this is a big win. And we're doing this in a bipartisan fashion. This isn't about being a Republican or a Democrat. This is about let's show how Lansing can provide a great solution for our citizens for decades to come. Well, this is a big milestone in Michigan's future. And looking ahead, and that's why I wanted to be governor. One of the key reasons is we need to reinvent our state. This is part of that reinvention. And this isn't about the next couple years of office. This is about building a foundation that people can build on for decades to come, because these are important decisions that we're making in a bipartisan fashion with broad coalition of interest holders in so many different ways that, again, gets back to adaptable policy for reliable, affordable, and environmentally sustainable energy. Doesn't that sound good? That's what this is about, and I'm proud to say we got it done. Yeah, quite often I wait to say until it gets to my desk. This is a case I'm excited, and I was excited to play an important role last night in terms of bringing people together to say, how do we find that common ground? And it worked. And in a lot of cases it was, let's step back and really look at the big picture of what we're trying to achieve, and let's think about the citizens. And that made a difference with a lot of people saying, this is the right answer.